Okay, okay. What did they say on Shining? I'm back. I can see that. We got Dennis here, Amanda here, Paul Dickinson. I saw you stand here too. He says, "Vad skjer?" I'm basically just gonna, we did this big streaming show not long ago on Saturday, and I just wanted to, I haven't been online much since then because I was so fucking exhausted, to tell you the truth, after that. But I just wanted to, have a talk with you guys. Twitch channel name, says Jason. My Twitch channel name is Jörgen Munkeby. It's pretty easy. So it's twitch.tv/Jörgen Munkeby. I'll put it here. But Dennis says, an amazing show. I forgot how many times I watched it. Yeah, so I wanted to tell everybody who got a ticket that you can still see the show as many times as you want to. I didn't know, when I started selling tickets, I didn't know how we're going to do stuff and if that would be possible, but that is possible now. But I'm going to take this stream down on Saturday. I checked and I have all the audio multi-track. It was actually something wrong. We did two recordings of the multi-track. And we did one with one computer, and that was on Pro Tools. That was from the front of the house. And then I had the monitor guy do another backup recording, and the Pro Tools rig stopped, as they usually do. So they stopped for about half a minute, and so but the other rig kept on going. But the problem with that was that the digital patching in that other rig was not working properly. So I was missing, let me turn this off. I was missing a couple of tracks on the recording that recorded the whole thing. So, but when I discovered that, I said, I was supposed to go to bed, and I was thinking, Jesus Christ, I can't sleep until I, figure out this shit. So I combined all these two sets of files together, and I figured out that the only part that I'm missing is, I have everything I need. The only part I'm missing is my vocals saying "okay" at one place. It's at the end. It's at the end. I'll show you what I'm missing, and I'm gonna fucking just record that. But we do have all the video tracks, and we do have all the audio tracks. So I'll be able to make, let's say, like a high fidelity, high res version of this show. I want to show you fun. I downloaded the whole stream from YouTube. That's what I had to do to see the show. Let me show you what I'm missing. Let's see. Okay, I'll show you. So, it's the last song. So here we are. No, that's madness. Here the recording stopped, but I have it on the other computer, but not with the vocals, and not with Ishan's vocals, and not with Ishan's guitar, but they're not playing here. So this is about 30 seconds. And then I'm doing something. I'm just changing guitar. So this is we have this on another take, and then What I'm missing is, wait for it. It's kind of fun. I'm missing. I fucking love the editing of this when Seaman kind of puts one camera on top of the other one. You can see there's one camera on the back and one in the front. Okay, that's the word I'm missing. I'm gonna record that. That's the only thing. So, so you can still buy a ticket, and you don't have you don't have a long time to do that. You can go to the link that I've been posting fucking 100 times, it seems. And I'll take it down. Here's Sunday morning, 1:00 a.m. You can still see it, and you can also at that time on Monday next week I'll be ordering these T-shirts. So if you want to have one of these special T-shirts, that's also going to be your last chance, because I'm just making the amount that we've ordered, and that's it. So anyone here saw the stream? Want to let me know what you think about it? Because I think it fucking turned out really good. Are we still streaming here? Let me know. I'm gonna actually go and see. Greg Schwan from New York says, amazing. You saw it, right? I saw you saw it because I saw some pictures of you, I think. What did your cats think about it, Greg? Your what's the name of them again? Audrey and Audrey. What's the other cat's name? Let me know. I'm gonna turn on some music. This is kind of. I'm gonna have some background music, soothing background music. Yeah, so I wanted to say something interesting. Every time I do something big, I always, this time was one of the few times where I really feel that. Usually I feel like a show might be like 80%. I might be 80% happy with it, 70% happy with it, whatever, and that's still a good number. I mean, 70% happy with a live show is pretty good. This show, I felt like I was closer to 95% happy with the show, and that's kind of rare. So I was super happy with it, but I also know that stuff sneak up on me after the fact. It could be, I had it like that back when I was in school. Every time I did an exam, I had the same feeling. And now if I do a show or a video recording or whatever it is, a mix, it's like after I've done it, I feel like I'm first happy, and then my mind comes up with the biggest problem that I discover. It could be that there's some glitch in the base file, or it could be something that I forgot, whatever it is, and my mind feels that that's the biggest error, and it focuses on that, and I have to kind of process that. Either I'll have to get used to the fact that it turned out the way it did, or I'll have to convince myself that it didn't matter, or maybe it's better that way, and then when I get through the first thing, it feels like that's the only thing I got to get through, and then I'll be happy. And then, when I'm done with that, the next biggest thing come up and creep up into my mind, and I have to process that. And it goes like that, smaller and smaller things. And so now I'm kind of like, I actually did a test for this show. I'm not sure if we're gonna redo the whole list, but I think this is interesting because I've always had it like that. And I've actually on my phone here, I've written down a list of regrets just to show myself how my mind works. And I've got, let me see. And this is after I'm saying that this was one of the best things I've done, you know. And still I have a list of regrets that I'm working myself through. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things on this list. And the first one, I'll tell you what the first one is. Because I'm kind of through that, I'm going to show you. I was, you know, this is a very special venue, and one of the guys afterwards just mentioned, one of the guys who helped us mentioned that he wasn't sure that there was enough lights on the machines during the show. And I was thinking, oh, that's right. Because I wanted this to be a show where you could, that didn't look like a stage. So I was thinking, oh, Jesus Christ, I should have. And I said that, and I did tell the light guy to do that. And then I thought about that. But after the show, we went to our hut and we watched through the whole thing. And I discovered that there is a lot of awesome shots that had more than enough lights on the machine. So it was just something that I thought was a problem. And it turned out not to be a problem. I actually think the lighting here, let me see if I can find some examples. I think the lighting is fucking perfect. Check this out. So here, that kind of stuff, where there's lights on the machines, just from here a couple of times. I think that's fucking perfect. So that's an example of things that I 1375 regrets, says Frederick. Yeah. So that's one thing. Another thing was with the lights, and you know we had Ishan with us on the last song here.
So let's hope we can take this.
You can still see the machines behind here.
It's on the road soon.
So he was he wanted to make sure that he didn't forget the lyrics. So he had his lyrics taped to a wedged monitor right in front of him, but there was so much smoke on the floor, so we had to figure out a way to get him to get some lights on his lyrics. So I had with me actually the light that you can see on the ceiling here, RGB light. That's kind of the size of a cell phone, a little bit thicker, and you can change the color of it. And I had it on red. I don't know why. Maybe I've done something. I probably used it on the test stream for this show. So it was red, and we tried with like a headlight, and it didn't have enough light. And when I put up the red light, it looked really good on the paper looked good. So we just kept it like that. And then a light guy said afterwards, he said he didn't like the red light, and I felt like, oh Jesus, I could have put it on. I could have made it white. It would be super simple. He could have just told me. So I was thinking, oh, did I ruin the fucking last song? And then I've been thinking about it, and I actually fucking like the fact that there's something. You can see here that is something that it almost like a fire in front of Ishan. And the catch go hey hey hey. So that red part there is my little light, and I kind of like it. Just looking at the lyrics. Let's check that out. I think it's kind of cool. Looks like it's burning. So so that's examples. And then when that's done, there's a lot of stuff here, and I'm just working my way through this list. And when I'm done with that list, I'm gonna be happy with the whole thing. And this happens every fucking time. So I don't know. Do you guys are you like that too? When you do big things, you gotta spend a week trying to work your way through, stuff you come up with. I'm like that. Yeah. People have asked me what I'm gonna do with this thing when I take it down. Now, first of all, I've made sure that I have all the video clips and I have all the audio. So even though this looks really good, it still has, the live. I don't know if I can find you. Yeah, let's take a look at this picture. You can see those kind of squares. Look at the face, the beard of Eirik. You can see that there's got these kind of small squares. See that? And that is the way the encoding works on YouTube when it's live. Like that this is kind of like poor H.264 encoding. But it's not that YouTube is doing a bad job on encoding. It's because this was encoded live. This was played live. So let's say we had this very video before it was encoded. If we had like a recording on a computer of this, then we could have just uploaded it again to YouTube and it would look better. But we don't, so I'll have to get, I think I'll get Simon to remake his edits and come on, motherfucker. He'll remake his edits, and then I will have the raw material, and I can do some changes if I want to make changes. For instance, I'd like the intro. Let me show you the intro. I'd like maybe to have a shot of, instead of the first shot here being my guitar, I'd like that to be a mask. It could be, I hope someone's filming another mask, and then I could cut to me here with my mask. So that, I think that's the only thing I can come up with, like, that I want to do differently editing wise. Apart from that, it was fucking awesome what Simon did. So that's what I want to do, and then I probably want to make a new mix. This mix sounds good, but obviously you can make a better mix when you have it in your system. I could, for instance, mute the tom drums when they're not playing. That's how I usually do it. I could automate volumes up and down. I might, So basically, that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on making a better version, but I don't think we don't actually have a plan to use this show for something else than just put it out for free on YouTube. I'm working on a streaming platform with a friend of mine. That's going to be a combination of, like, let's say a Netflix music concert archive, and it's also going to be a place where you can stream your shows and a lot of stuff like that. So this is probably going in. It's going to be one of the self-produced shows that's going to be there. So we'll see. But I have a full show from Trolltunga in 2015, and I haven't finished it yet. So you know that sometimes I'm quick, sometimes I'm slow. So let's hope I don't use 5 years to finalize this. Maurizio says use the multicam tool. He's a film editor. Yeah, I can do that. I just need to sync it up first. I haven't done that yet. So Stu says, have you got a better quality audio? Is that what you're saying? A better quality video track than the ones that on YouTube? No, I don't have that now, but I have all the raw material from the videos. So, and they're super high quality. And the main camera was an Arri camera, so that's one of the best cameras you can get. That filmed in a C-Log, I think. So we got a lot of stuff to work on grading wise. The other one was a Red Dragon, like the camera that used that had like let me see. Come on, man. Yeah, it doesn't look. This might not be the best shot, but this shot, like this kind of shots, all the close-up shots, is like an Arri camera, and then we got a dolly kind of camera. That was a Red Dragon. Let me see if I can find you a typical.
Making a lot of noise.
This is the Arri camera
that you're at a show.
from the
You
front,
say a lot.
and then the dolly cam. This thing is a Red Dragon. You can't see it that well, but this is also the one that's doing the ending. Slow ending. This one. So we had it on like a train track thing, so it can move slow. So professional cameras, these two. Also got a professional camera on the side. Handheld, he was moving around, but this camera, So that's another pro camera, and then we had like this kind of prosumer, 2 or 3 prosumer cameras around, filming the drum kit and stuff like that. So we got a lot of cool things to use. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah, but it's a bit of work. And I was actually planning on writing new music right now, but I got to do this first, and then we'll see. Fredrik says, do you plan to make the Black Jazz stream as a special DVD edition with back catalog footage, audio, etc.? This stream, I was initially planning on making this stream. Instead of having the video intro that I was using, I can show you, remind you what that was. I was actually planning on using archive footage from. It's gone now. I was planning on using archive footage from when we were in the studio recording the record 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I was actually also planning on using that footage between the songs. But then this concept of using the factory, using smoke, low fog, smoke, and having that as a big part of like an important part of the production, I ended up wanting to just have a more like a conceptual concert rather than let me see if I can show you. So if I move this thing out, you can just see that. This is the intro that I'm talking about. So I ended up having it more like a conceptual thing, and I think I'll keep it that way, because adding behind the scenes stuff inside this kind of takes away the magic of it. But it would be cool to, gather. I have a lot of footage from when we recorded the record. So we'll see. Again, I'm more interested in making new stuff than old stuff, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to work on this. I'm gonna make this really good, but I'm not sure how much I'm gonna focus on other parts than just making this show really good. I'm not gonna make it into a physical thing, I'm pretty sure about that because it's just too economically risky. Economically risky. It's too risky. So, but we might have it as a paid download or something like that. Vicky says, what did you guys do with the windows? You're talking about blinding the windows, right? Well, I'll show you. We actually didn't do anything with it. We checked where the sun would be at that particular time. I actually have it here, so let me see if I can find some footage on. But it actually looks pretty good. That's why we kept it. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can scan through that. Basically, there's some footage where you can see it, but most of the time you can't see it. I'll show you some pictures where you can see it. So if we do the grading, the closer we get to the end of the show, obviously the darker it is outside. But I think I remember something in the beginning where you can see the windows. We just left them there. Yeah. Anyway, there you can't see them here. I'll show you. I'll show you some pictures that I got today, where you can see the windows. This is from the. From the sound check. So you can see the windows. This is how it looks without the smoke on the floor. You can see that this is the monitor station where we did the monitoring. And then these are the windows. This is earlier. So you can see the sun is pretty bright outside. We just left them there. This is pretty. I think this was 7 o'clock because Ishan came there at 6 o'clock. So there's a lot of stuff. A lot happened between 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock. The windows looks pretty fucking cool. Yeah. So and I'm gonna while I'm here, I'm gonna show you the pictures of Hornburg. Come on, we had 2 photographers there, but they weren't able to. They were only allowed to shoot during the sound check because we didn't want them to be in the way of the video cameras. So you can see the windows behind there. They're pretty cool. He did black out the Sagan's white shoes. He had white shoes during the sound check. Yeah, so that's what we did with Windows. This is actually pretty fun. And someone said on Instagram or YouTube or whatever that we should sell these masks as merchandise, and that was a fucking good idea. And if he'd told me earlier, I could have done that because I have all these files and I could have printed. These are printed on paper, so I could have sold. We could have sold these kind of masks, and you guys could have had the masks on while you were watching the show. But that's an idea that didn't really happen, unfortunately. Okay, so let's see if I got a few more questions here, and then did you reconsider the Black Jazz style for future albums by being involved in this anniversary thing, rehearsals, etc.? I remember you said Black Jazz was basically dead. Maybe has there been a backfire? I'm not sure if I said, if I ever said that Black Jazz is dead. I don't think it's dead. But I knew that it was going to be interesting, kind of monitoring my feelings about what kind of music I wanted to do after this show, because after spending a lot of time, thinking about the black jazz stuff, rearranging it, getting back to that kind of head space. I didn't know if I was gonna, if I want, one possible outcome would be that I wanted to include some of that stuff in our new music. Another possible outcome would be that I just kind of decided that, it kind of reinforced my wish to make other types of music. I think it's kind of been both. I like part of it, but I also feel that I'm super eager to now make music that is different. So basically, I have no idea. I don't know how it affects the new music. But I'm getting a lot of old merchandise from our old merchandise company soon. So we do have some. I think we're gonna get the live black jazz LP, like 4 or 5 of them. I actually don't have any of them myself, so I'm gonna keep 1 or 2 myself. And we're gonna get some old hoodies. We're gonna get some merchandise that we haven't had before. And so that's going to be interesting. I'm going to put it up on our web store as soon as I get them. I'll probably get it in a week or so. So that's it. Thank you all for joining. It was good to see you. Does anyone here has any other questions regarding this show? I'd love to answer you, because we did a lot of stuff with it to make it extra cool and look good. For instance, we had LUTs on the. We had 2 LUTs, which is kind of a color grading preset stuff that I made both of them myself, and we had it as a main look on the whole broadcast. And then we did all of these. I'll show you all of these color effects on Black Jazz Death Trance. Here we go.
Because this.
Okay, so I'll show you. This is not lights. This is
once, but that's in 2013. It doesn't count. Almost doesn't count. So we've brushed dust off our chops. Some of us have the keyboards.
Come on, man! Don't fucking talk that much. So this red thing is actually, it's not red light. It might be red light too, but this is a LUT that is changing the color on the whole thing to black and red. So that's done from Simon, from his streaming place, and then these kind of things are overlays. I don't know if you can see it. We can work more on that stuff when we do it on the main file. But these are stuff that we tried to just make it sound look cooler than a normal stream. That's good timing. Good job, Simon. So that kind of stuff was done by Simon, and that was special stuff that I wanted to try to figure out how to make live streams look good. We're fading back to normal colors. You can see the machines behind there. Yeah, so that stuff, and also on Omen we're doing it black and white. This is also a LUT that was added on that stuff. And this is the only error, like biggest error that I've played on the sax. The G sharp on the sax, which is like an F sharp in real life. That thing is like a key that opens with a spring. So, but there was so much smoke in the air, and that air made my pad sticky. So when the spring tries to open it, it's stuck to the sax. So instead of playing da da no da da da, that's what it's supposed to play. But I play da. Can you hear that? like a semitone to semitone flat. I'm gonna fix that. I look at that and I'm fixing it. That's what I'm doing here. And I'm opening that flap, that pad or key or whatever you call it. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a background thing, what we did to make it sound good, look good. To make it sound better, we had a mix, and then we sent the mix through another computer, and on that computer I had my usual mastering chain, which is a Slate Digital VMR virtual mix rack with a trimmer in the beginning, VCC, a virtual mixing console set to SSL E, SSL 4000 or 4000E, whatever it's called, the first one. And then there is a bomber at maybe 4 or 8%. There is a Monster, which is like an 1176 all buttons in compressor, also set to 4 or 8%. Almost not working. There's a revival, or what it's called, which is a low shelf and high shelf, a little bit low and a little bit high adding, and then it goes to another plugin, virtual bus compressor, SSL compressor, compressing about max 3 dB, and then it goes to a Focusrite compressor that is in the same plugin, not compressing, or maybe compressing half a dB on the peaks, but it's got drive to it, so it just adds some cool harmonics. Then it goes to, usually I have a tape, like a Slate tape machine here, but on the live stream we didn't use it because it has too much latency. So it goes to the Oxford inflator, which kind of clips about 2 dB, and I usually use about 20% of the like magic fader. I don't know what it's called, enhance or whatever. On this time we used it on probably 32%. And then I had the curve fader, which I usually have on about 0, had it at minus 4, 5, 6, 7, 8%. And then we had a limiter at the end, but it almost didn't do anything. It did like half a dB here and there. That was like the Logic limiter. So that's the mastering chain of the audio, and that to me helped a lot. So that's it. So just a reminder, you can still see the show as many times as you want if you already bought a ticket. If you didn't buy a ticket, you can get a ticket at shop.joining.no. We're taking it down on Saturday night, like Sunday morning. The t-shirts are also available until then, and after that I'm going to order shirts for everyone who bought them, and after that you won't be able to get the shirts. So that's the end of that. We'll take it down, and the show might re-emerge sometime in the future, but don't hold your breath. Because if you did hold your breath for Trolltunga show, you'd be dead. So that's it. Someone asks, Mauricio says, do you have all the material clean? Yes, I do have all the material clean. I have all the multi-cams and all the multi-tracks. Cool, everyone. I'm heading to pick up my son at on kindergarten, and maybe we're going to the beach because it's pretty nice weather. Hope you're doing good. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye, motherfuckers. Nice to see you all. Hope to see you soon. Nice day at the beach in Norway, -20. It's pretty hot outside. I think the water is cold as fuck though. But that's fine. Christopher Rog, 420. What? 420. 420. What's that again? Isn't that kind of like some kind of pot thing? When you're done with work, you go home and you smoke pot. Is that right? I think I read about that. I don't smoke pot. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well. Okay. Have a nice day, everyone.
The sea will rise and it toss you by. You'll remember me when the sea regains the